Miss Radio. I'm your Tuesday, Thursday show host, Skylar Angus Barker. We've got a great show coming up with some information about Fred Clark, explaining how a powerful cause turned fear into courage, and Stephanie Munoz covering ICE's impact on students. And don't touch that dial because Nick Ciraldo will share some things that you don't want to miss. You're listening to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online. Sponsorship comes from American Graphics. Located at 8 Commercial Warehouse Drive in Hattiesburg, American Graphics provides custom screen printing and embroidery. They can be reached by phone at 601-602-2277. And the website is goamericangraphics.com. American Graphics, printing at its finest.
Welcome back to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. First and foremost, we want to give a special shout out to Clarissa LeVay. Thank you so much for supporting Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. This show cannot operate without you. In USM campus news, Marine Education Center to host 2026 Hurricane Bowl Regional Ocean Sciences Competition. You've heard that right. The Marine Education Center is going to host the 2026 Hurricane Bowl on Saturday, February 21st at the Marine Education Center, 101 Sweet Bay Drive, Ocean Springs. The competition will run from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., with volunteers participating from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Lucy Lindsay, project manager for the Marine Education Center, has this to say about the event. Quote, "The Hurricane Bowl is competitive, intense, at times intimidating, and that's exactly what makes it so impactful. We see ambitious, driven students step up to the challenge, prepared to push themselves and test their understanding of ocean environmental science. Watching these students compete reminds us that they are the future of environmental stewardship. Through the Hurricane Bowl, they're building confidence, teamwork, and critical thinking skills that will stay with them long after the competition ends." End quote. Southern Miss Beckman Scholars earns national recognition for research. Looks like we have some congratulations to give here at Southern Miss. Sophomore Ash Davis and junior Noah Williamson, both students at the College of Arts and Sciences. Williamson goes on to talk about their work by stating, quote, "This research experience will inform my future endeavors in academia, while leaving me with tangible field, lab, and academic writing skills. The field work, going out to survey for active mounds, further inspired me to pursue a career in this field of conservation biology, as it reinforced my love for the natural world in all of its wonders." End quote. Ash Davis also revealed a statement stating the following, quote, "Being a Beckman Scholar has been the most rewarding experience of my undergraduate career, and I am excited to continue my research in the coming months." End quote. In Hattiesburg news, Rouse's Market now open in Hattiesburg. It looks like we've got a new store in the Pine Belt. The store has officially opened Monday morning and has replaced the Winn-Dixie location on Hardy Street. So, if you're interested in some Cajun specialties, fresh Gulf seafood, hand-cut meats, signature bakery items, and more, why not stop by? Hattiesburg Zoo seeks volunteers for education efforts. The Hattiesburg Zoo is now accepting applications for education volunteers who engage guests and share info about animals and conservation efforts. These volunteers are stationed throughout the zoo with biofacts or ambassador animals, helping educate visitors of all ages. Shifts are available from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. To qualify, you must be at least 16 years old, interest in wildlife and conservation education, be comfortable speaking with and engaging with the public, and have the ability to stand for extended periods. So, if you're interested, you can apply on the Hattiesburg Zoo website. In Mississippi news, Mississippi vape law leads to ingredient changes. There is a nicotine alternative called Nixidine that has been appearing in disposable vapes across Mississippi. This shift has followed Mississippi's 2025 vaping law, which created a state-run director tied to federal rules. Melanie Blankton, a health educator at the Moffitt Health Center at USM, stated the following, quote, "A lot of times when one thing gets restricted in a vape or in a product, they will remarket it and change one little thing. Maybe the name or a name and the ingredients, but it looks exactly like the one before," end quote. In national news, after the Minneapolis shootings, Trump says his administration could use a softer touch on immigration. President Donald Trump had an interview with NBC News on Wednesday that he believes his administration could use a softer touch in its immigration enforcement operations after federal agents shot and killed 2 U.S. citizens last month in Minneapolis. President Trump provided this statement, quote, "I've learned that maybe we could use a little bit of a softer touch, but you still have to be tough. We're dealing with really hard criminals. But look, I've called the people. I've called the governor. I've called the mayor, spoke to them, had great conversations with them. And then I see them ranting and raving out there, literally as though a call wasn't made," end quote. Just as a reminder, no one is illegal on stolen land. We'll be right back with sports and weather after a word from our sponsors.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water, water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online. Sponsorship comes from Furniture Direct, with locations in Hattiesburg, Laurel, and Columbia. Are you looking for a deal? Lots of styles on a good value? You can find them on Facebook at Furniture Direct Hattiesburg for the latest specials and promotions. Or you can shop anytime at FurnitureDirectNow.com. You can see why Furniture Direct is your furniture destination.
Welcome back to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. Now on for your sports. Southern Miss softball wraps up the Black and Gold Challenge, splitting 2 games. Our Golden Eagles fought hard against both Louisiana Tech and Southeast Missouri. Although we weren't able to obtain a win against Louisiana Tech, we did obtain a win against Southeast Missouri State. Head coach Natalie Poole provided this statement about the weekend. Quote, "I thought we had a good weekend overall. It feels good to finish 4-1 and only lost in extra innings. We had some good performances by people in the starting lineup and from those off the bench. We've learned a lot about ourselves as a team and look forward to week 2, end quote. Let's go Eagles. Golden Eagles stun Kent State late to pick up a big win. Our Golden Eagles battled head-to-head against Kent State and were able to receive a win 66-65, a close and comeback win. Let's go Eagles. To keep up with all the Golden Eagles sports activities, head on over to southernmiss.com. Now on for your weather. It looks like we had some dense fog earlier today, but it seems that it cleared up pretty well. And it looks like we're going to have some mostly cloudy and warm temperatures today, with highs in the mid-70s and lows in the upper 50s. It looks like the fog will be returning at around midnight tonight, so keep an eye out if you're going out. The current temperature is 68 degrees, with our humidity at a whopping 66%. Crazy, I know. And our wind at 8 miles per hour. Up next, we have Fred Clark explaining how a powerful cause turned fear into courage. Check it out.
This is Mississippi Moments, produced by the Center for Oral History and Cultural Heritage at the University of Southern Mississippi and supported by the Mississippi Humanities Council. I'm Bill Ellison. The culture of fear used to maintain social order in the Jim Crow South was deeply ingrained in everyone. Fred Clark explains how being a part of a greater movement inspired the fearful to acts of bravery.
What was going on in Mississippi with all the cross burnings and shootings, everything was just a mass of confusion in any direction you went in. So my main tactic was to survive through this thing because I knew there was going to be change, and we worked hard to keep that going because we could see the light. Females wanted their rights, black and white. There were some tough old ladies, the church sisters. Them the one that really did the cooking and the passing the wisdom and counseling and nurturing, giving you that hug when you need one. Telling you things gonna be all right, just put it in the hands of the Lord, stuff like that, it kept us going when it got rough. They would hide you. Say, child, I ain't getting out there and march with you, but I feed you and you can come to my house and hide when you get ready, They give you a ride in their car and drop you off to the meeting. So come by when I get paid tomorrow, boy, I'll give you $1 or something to help out, stuff like that.
To learn more, subscribe to the Mississippi Moments podcast or visit cohch.org. Mississippi Moments is supported by the Mississippi Humanities Council. The humanities are for everyone.
That was our Mississippi Moments. Coming up, we've got a special guest that you don't want to miss.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mr. Sippy Beverages. Mr. Sippy Beverages provides water, water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mr. Sippy Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mr. Sippy Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. Now, please give a warm Golden Eagle welcome to Nick Ciraldo. Hey, how are you?
Hey, thanks for having me, Skylar.
Thank you so much for coming on. So first and foremost, for anyone who doesn't know you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I'm the university's guitar professor. I teach guitar to a variety of majors, undergraduate through doctorate. I've been here for over 20 years.
Wow. How do you like it so far? How do you like your time at USM?
I love it.
And it's already amazing being able to teach USM students about music and especially about guitar. Because I know, like, for me personally, like, something that me and my dad did to, like, bond with each other was we tried to pick up guitar.
Nice.
And my dad can do a lot more than I can, and I'm always so jealous of him of it. But let's talk a little bit about the guitar. How does a classical guitar differ from a steel string guitar or an electric guitar?
Yeah, so good question. People often call it the nylon string guitar because the strings of a classical guitar are made of primarily plastic. And then you got the acoustic guitar or steel string made of metal strings. Electric guitar also has metal strings, but the difference between the electric and the other two is that, it's electrified. It has these pickups that, you have to plug it in and use an amplifier and that kind of thing. It uses electricity to make a sound. The acoustic and the classical are the ones that are unplugged. They're ones that, rely on the sound box, the wooden aspect of the guitar, just to, the vibration of the wood to create the sound. But the classical guitar is, for me, a little bit more special. I'm biased because it is an instrument that you can use to primarily play finger-style music. Instead of using a pick, you can play many lines of music at once. You can play a lot of different styles. The style that I primarily play on the classical is what's called classical music. That's why it's called the classical guitar. And so I'm able to play solo stuff. I can accompany myself. I can play with other people. And it's just made my life an amazing fulfilling experience because I can make music here in Hattiesburg for our Southern Miss community, but also all over the world.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would love to pick your brain about like, especially like guitar within like media. Is there any like sort of media out there, whether it's like video game, TV show, movie, or just music that is actually just played out there? Is there any type of guitar music within media that you look at and go like, they're doing something really good here?
I think one of the cool things about the guitar is that it has such a universal appeal, depending on the style. And I'm glad that we, talked about the various types of guitar. But like if you hear someone kind of jamming on an acoustic or even a certain electric guitars, but in kind of like a blues style, it kind of primes you for some type of an environment where you might see the blues or think of the South or something of that nature. So it's it's used in music that is used for TV, for movies. I'm not too sure about what is being used in terms of video games because I'm not, it's been a while since I played.
Of course.
But it is, again, just so diverse. You can use it for a variety of different styles, and so you hear the guitar much more often than you think.
Yeah, absolutely. So you mentioned earlier that like your specialization is within classical guitar. Do you play other types of guitar as well, or other types of stringed instruments as well?
Yeah, so even more recently than ever in my career have I been experimenting and exploring other styles of guitar. So I now play a good bit of electric guitar and a good bit of acoustic guitar. I'm in an ensemble that is, I guess we could call it a university ensemble. My colleague, Dr. Ben McElwain, who plays trombone and is my colleague in the School of Music, and I have formed a group called 719. And we play all kinds of music. And so we're playing Metallica. And so I'm playing electric guitar with lots of distortion and sort of big metal vibe, you know. But then we're also playing some bossa nova where I'm playing on the classical guitar. Or we're doing some bluegrass where I'm playing on the acoustic guitar. So yes, for that group, but also just sort of other projects, I am, playing a variety of styles, even though classical is like my main thing.
Absolutely. And that's it's so cool, and it's so awesome to be so multifaceted, especially when it comes to music, because there's just so many stories and so many emotions that can be told within the art of music. So that's absolutely amazing. And I already know, from me personally, if I could have heard about the guitar studio that you're the head of for USM, that I would love to be a part of it in some aspect. And I'm sure that we have loads of other students listening that were going like, we have a guitar studio? What?
Right.
So how can someone get a place in the guitar studio, and what's a guitar studio experience like for a guitar student?
Well, first off, Skylar, I'll say you are welcome anytime.
Well, thank you.
I'm just across the street in the Fine Arts Building. So yeah, I run the guitar studio at Southern Miss. And what that means is we have students who have come from all over the world to study with me on a variety of styles. Like I said before, primarily classical guitar, but they are more recently pursuing a new program called commercial music.
Okay.
And that is something that is designed to train our students in a variety of styles so that when they graduate, they are much more, well, as I say around here, ready for life.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
They're ready to be playing all the different styles that lots of people want. As we've discussed already in this brief conversation, there's all kinds of ways in which you can hear the guitar and enjoy the guitar. Various people want to listen to different kinds of music. And so we want our students to be ready to cater to all of those demands. And that kind of ties in with like my recent work in exploring all these different styles of music as well.
Yeah.
But we have students majoring in music to study guitar, but we also have students who are minoring in music. And you can also take guitar as an elective every semester. We even have guitars for rent if you don't have one.
Wow.
And it's a really warm and welcoming environment. We also have guitar festivals. In fact, we have a guitar festival coming up on March 14th. I call it the Screamin' Eagles Guitar Festival.
Oh, I think I've heard of that.
Yeah, so we had our first one last year. It's a really warm and inclusive environment. Anyone from an absolute pro to somebody who got a guitar yesterday is able to come. This year's theme is jam. So we're going to have a festival-wide jam session. we're going to have guest artists who play together a lot, and so that kind of carries with the jam theme as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so exciting. I remember seeing flyers, and I think the radio did like some promos for the Screaming Eagle event, and that's. Oh my gosh, that's
Cool.
That's so awesome. That's so amazing. So it seems that we've got a special guest performing at the USM campus, Juan Pablo Salas. Am I saying his
Perfect.
name right?
That's
okay.
perfect.
Awesome. On Thursday, February 19th, what can you tell us about this guitarist?
Yeah, so a number of years ago, I was a guest artist at the Costa Rica Guitar Festival. So I went to Costa Rica and I performed a solo recital, and I also participated in their annual guitar competition. So folks from all over the country came to one place, and they competed over the course of several days. It was very competitive. The level was very high, and Juan Pablo Salas won that year. He won the top prize. And part of the prize was the chance to perform at the University of Southern Mississippi.
Wow.
And so he is coming next week to do just that. So he'll be performing Thursday night, March 14th, in Marsh Auditorium at 7:30 p.m. It's free and open to the public. And then he'll be giving a class the next day for our guitar students at 9:30 in FAB 116.
Okay.
Anyone's welcome to come.
Awesome. And is this a ticketed event, or is this open to the public where, like, just bring your student ID, or is this just open entirely to the public?
Yeah, so the wonderful thing about most recitals in the School of Music is that you just come on. You just walk right in. You know when and where. Show up maybe a couple minutes early. Grab a program on your way in. There's usually a program waiting for you right when you walk in. Yeah. And you just sit and enjoy. The concerts are usually about an hour long. So, yeah, all you need to do is just walk in.
Awesome. Sounds like a great opportunity. Do you know, if you know, of course, do you know what kind of pieces Salas will be playing for this concert?
I do. In fact, he sent it to me recently, and it's actually going to be a little unique. Okay. So normally you get a classical guitarist coming into town, and they'll just give an hour-long program of some classical pieces. And in his program, he's going to be doing a little bit of that. The first 6 or so pieces will be like your very traditional classical pieces, but it's going to be pretty diverse, you know, ranging from music written like 400 years ago to stuff that was written maybe in the past 10 years. But then he's going to be playing an arrangement of a jazz tune, A Night in Tunisia by Dizzy Gillespie. And then he asked me, he said, "Do you think I could sing at this concert?"
Ooh, okay.
I was like, dude, of course. You know, this is what you're pursuing. If this is your like creative project right now, do it. So he's going to be coming and at the end of the concert performing 4 of his own compositions. The first one is called The Moon and the Sun, and the next one is In This and Another Life, and then the next one is called Humans, and the last one is called Mariana. So we'll hear him sing as well as play. That's
going to be so exciting. I already know that our Golden Eagles listening, and anyone who's listening overall in general, this is it's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Thanks.
And like you will want to hear this, you will want to see it. Is there any other events that are coming up with the Guitar Studio that we should know about?
Sure, I can rattle off a few dates for you. I'd be happy to do that, and thank you. So on March 5th, I mentioned that on that group that I was in, 719, we're giving a concert in Marsh Auditorium at 7:30 p.m. That's Thursday, March 5th. I talked about the Guitar Festival, the Screaming Eagles Guitar Festival. That's going to be Saturday, March 14th. Okay. That's kind of an all-day event. And then looking forward into April, on April the 16th, the Guitar Studio will be performing. And so that's going to be in Marsh Auditorium. Excuse me, that's going to be an intermezzo at Woods Gallery. So if you don't know where that is, if you walk into the Fine Arts Building, there's like this little student lounge looking area, and then just off of it there's a little concert space. That's called Intermezzo. And so there's going to be a concert in there at 7:30. And that's going to be cool because we're going to be hearing guitarists playing a variety of styles once again, like from classical to jazz to, I mean, like last semester we had a punk band play.
Ooh, I love that. That's so exciting. I could rant and rave. I know that we're running low on time though, but it's such a wonderful time for you to come on today.
Thank you.
It's absolutely great. Something that we like to do whenever we close out our interviews is we like to ask one final question. If you were to give a younger you a bit of advice from the experience that you've garnered throughout your entire life up to this point, whether it's about music, whether it's about guitar, whether it's about the guitar studio, what would you say to them?
Yeah, so for me, as far as a guitarist, I would have told myself to take those classes that I'm now teaching in this commercial music program, from entrepreneurship to live sound to recording, all those things that I kind of learned after graduating. I would have told myself, you should do those things now because they're really helpful for your career. Maybe also practice a little bit more.
I get that.
And I guess as a person, just listen to people better. Just keep listening and keep learning. We are all connected.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Nick Ciraldo, for coming on today and providing a voice for our Eagles. Coming up, we've got Stephanie Munoz covering ICE's impact on students. Check it out.
ICE has increased their presence in the U.S. According to the Homeland Security in January, 12,000 agents were hired in less than a year. This has caused fear and pressure to Lipscomb University student Harold Espinoza Lopez's situation.
I feel a bit pressure, I feel scared for my parents since they are immigrants, I would say. As a U.S. citizen, Hispanic American, it feels a bit scary. You had to take a sacrifice to take risks.
With the increase of ICE agents, Lopez's mother feels scared to go out in her own car, which leaves him to the task of being his parents' driver.
It's just hard for her just to not able to go somewhere where she feels afraid to go and get captured by ICE.
Lopez says the U.S. needs to make a change because of who he sees ICE target the most.
I feel like we should change in general. I feel like they target more Hispanics than any other culture, in my opinion, but I feel like we should do something about it.
I'm Stephanie Perez Munoz reporting from Southern Miss.
Thanks for listening to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. Huge thanks to Seb Hodges, our audio engineer, and Isabella Michaud, our video engineer, for keeping this bird flying. Big shout out to our assistant producer, Rose Inez Monty, and our program director, Adeline Fields, and our GM, Dr. Wilbur Martin. Don't forget to follow SM2 Media on social media. I'm your Tuesday Thursday show host, Skylar Angus Parker. Stay golden, Eagles.